All right, guys, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll open it up for questions.
All right, first off, thanks all of you for being here and covering Wake Forest football and the Gator Bowl. Just a great team win. Really proud, first of all, of our seniors. Just the leadership that they've given us and the resolve and the buy-in. Some of them for 4, some of them for 5, and some of them for 6 years. Our coaching staff, I thought, did a great job, especially given the change in game. They gave up their Christmas and their Christmas Eve. I'm sure their wives aren't real happy with me right now, but we get a little bigger bonus for winning the game, so we'll make it up that way. I thank the fans and all the the whole Deacon Nation that showed up and our students. And I really want to thank the Gator Bowl staff, John and Greg. This game was in jeopardy about 8-9 days ago, and the job they did to find another team and to keep the game going, we are really, really grateful to the whole Gator Bowl committee and the city of Jacksonville and the people at the Omni where we stay. Just a special week. But at the end of the day, a lot of the bowl experience is based on how do you play. And we're really proud of our football team. 11 wins for the second time in school history. We have the second longest bowl streak in the ACC now. And we came out this year with a very bold goal of going from good to great. And I think that we accomplished that. The game, I thought, first off, I want to give a lot of credit to Rutgers and Greg Schiano. There's not a lot of teams that would do that. I think the fact that his team, he chose to play and he wanted his team to play and they wanted to play gives you the idea of the type of program he's building at Rutgers. Greg and I have been friends for over 30 years. I think he's one of the best football coaches in the country, and he sees the big picture. I think a lot of programs, might not want to play if they don't think they can win, and we knew we were going to be a favorite, and Greg knew that too. But he takes a very big picture approach, which good leaders do, and he knows this bowl experience is going to help Rutgers build a really good program. In a lot of ways we have similar challenges. We're in a very competitive conference, and I would say even a more competitive division. You look at the Big Ten and you look at the ACC, and most of the teams that are at that 8, 9, 10 wins are in the Atlantic or the Big Ten East or the SEC West, and we play in those divisions. And again, just in terms of the game today, obviously the turnovers were huge. Getting a pick down by the end zone and Sam playing turnover free and our offense playing turnover free. And we just had a lot of guys step up. Certainly we had 3 running backs, and A.T. Perry had a heck of a game. He's had a heck of a season. We did have Jacory, and I thought our Taylor Morin and Keyshawn Williams really stepped up. So again, proud of our team, and I am really, really tired. So I'll answer questions as long as you want. But I've got a nice stiff drink waiting for me back at the Omni, and I'm going to celebrate tonight.
We'll start with Connor O'Neill on the left.
Yeah. Connor O'Neill with Deacons Illustrated. Dave, the first 2 possessions that Rutgers had the ball looked like they moved it. I think it was 141 yards, something like that. And then I think it was like 113 on the next 6 possessions. Did anything change for your defense, or did they just kind of get settled into the game?
I was going to fire our defensive coordinator, but that was me. So it wasn't an option. In all seriousness, we did this collectively. I really want to thank the defensive staff. When you try to put together a game plan and the guy that's been running the defense the whole year isn't there, and our whole defensive staff, it was a team effort. There wasn't one coordinator for this game. There was 7 coordinators. But what we did is they run a play called the power read, and we kind of had prepared some edge pressure to defend that play. And then they started running a play that we call the truck play, and they were just kicking us out, washing the movement, and we just stopped calling the blitz. In third downs, we were playing some 2 deep concepts, and they were hurting us with some digs. And we switched in the second half, and we played a little bit more 3 deep concepts. We did a little bit more rush 3 and drop as opposed to pressuring some of those third downs they hit. You know, my background's mostly on offense, so like I'm running everything I hated to see as an offensive coach. You know, so I'm bringing all these different pressures and zero heat, and they're just picking it up and ripping us, and kind of backed off of that and said, hey, let's play coverage and let's defend the intermediate routes. And you know, we kind of adjusted the game plan in the second half, and you know, we gave the players the routes they were running and how we were going to cover them. And you do that at halftime, and then you go out in the second half, and you can make those adjustments, but to get a football team to execute it doesn't always happen. And they executed it. They did a great job. And you know, we had a few coverage sacks today in the second half that were because of the second half adjustments.
Gary on the right.
Yeah, Dave, Gary Smith from Florida Times Union. Did the official give you any kind of a satisfactory explanation on Ryan's ejection?
Again, you know, in live, I didn't think he hit him, and then I didn't think he hit him in the replay, but obviously if they ruled it a targeting, you know, I lost my mind a little bit, and I apologize to the officials. If the replay confirmed targeting, obviously I was wrong, and I shouldn't have reacted the way I did. You know, but they were going up and down the field, and that was kind of the defensive coordinator hat that I lost my mind, and I apologized to the guy afterwards. That wasn't appropriate.
Okay, but you still don't think it was targeting?
I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
you know, that's you start saying things like that, and you know, you get fined. So
Okay, I get it. And the other thing is, I know that you were expecting Greg to come out aggressively and, you know, play like there's nothing to lose. But did you ever expect somebody to change quarterbacks on 5 plays in a row?
we did. I mean, if you look at what they had, you know, they run a pretty extensive wildcat package. They've done that all year, and then their starting tailback didn't play. Their backup was on crutches, and then their third got hurt. And you know, I've been in that situation before, and you say, okay, who here can carry the ball? You know, so we expected number 9 to play, and when 9 was in the game, we thought it would be a little bit more quarterback run. And then obviously when they were in, you know, the Wildcat package, when 21 was out there, you know, that his number's 42-21. They change his number all the time. And then we saw him on the sidelines practicing passing, because when he was in the game, we were playing cover 0 and outnumbering the box. And then they called one pass, and we flipped to his own coverage, and he still hit it. But that's what good coaches do. They adapt. And he was down some players, and you know, he had a lot of guys that signed with agents because they thought the season was over, and they didn't get those guys back. And I thought Greg and his staff did a heck of a job to make that a competitive game. I mean, those guys thought their season was over 4 weeks ago. So again, to want the game, accept a bid, and get a team ready in 5 days and play the way they did, you know, I certainly don't feel that like we outcoached them. You know, I think our offensive staff did a good job, but I think our defensive guys, you know, we just kind of, our players outplayed them today. But that's Greg and his staff did a phenomenal job to make that a competitive game.
A couple more guys. Cam in the center.
Cameron Devereaux, Demi Deacon Digest. A.T. Perry, 10 catches, 127 yards, and a touchdown. While he didn't get the leaping one we all thought he was going to, what can you say about his performance today, this season, and how does that look when you're trying to sell that to guys in the room currently that are freshmen or recruits saying, hey, if you bide your time, this is what can happen?
Well, he's in the room, so I'm going to tone it down whatever I say here, because I don't want it to go to his head. He's coming back next year. But we've had receivers step up every year since we've been here. And whether it's you know, Scotty Washington, Kendall Hinton, Sage Surratt, Greg Dortch, and when Donovan Green went down this year and he got hurt, AT knew he was going to have a chance to not just play but have an impact. And that's an example of a guy that just worked so hard and was ready and took advantage of his opportunity. And what a phenomenal season. You know, first team all ACC, you know, the bowl performance he had. He gets better every week and every year, and it's going to be really exciting to get him back next year. So I think there's a whole nother level that he's capable of getting to. And if he buys in and makes that step, it's going to be, we're going to have a lot more fun next year. And we get Donovan back. And I think if you look at Taylor Morin and Keyshawn and Jamal Banks, you know, I don't think we're going to fall off a cliff here.
We're going to finish with Essex.
Essex there, old gold and black. Just how does it feel for the players, you, the program all together to get to 11 wins for the first time since 2006?
Well, when the year started, we came up with a theme of good to great, and you don't throw that out there unless you think you can really achieve it. But the credit belongs to our players. You know, we do this for a living and a job, and this is what we do. To get a group of 18 to 22, 23, and this year maybe a few 24-year-olds to buy into that goal and sacrifice for each other and truly put the team ahead of themselves is really hard to do. Our guys did that, and that's why we're in this position. We are talented, we have good players, but there's a lot of talented teams that have a lot of good players that don't find a way to get to double-digit wins. We're not here if we don't have those intangible qualities, and our football team has that. And you know, again, it's been a fun week, but also an emotional week because, you know, it's hard to see this year end. I told those guys last night, if we could get together in 1 week with the same group and do it all again, I'd sign up. And you know, some of them are back, but guys like Luke Masterson, you know, Trey Red, Sue Camaro, Brandon Chapman, who spent 6 years in our program, Miles Fox, a bunch of them. You know, it's you can replace them as players. It's hard to replace them as people. And they've been incredible. They're men. They've been incredible leaders for our program, and we're going to miss them. But we're going to enjoy this one. And you know, this was a historical season. We tied the record for the best season in Wake Forest history, and we're hopefully part of a debate of what the greatest team is. And the 2006 team was an incredible team, but the 2021 team was a really good team as well, and we're proud that we were a part of it.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks. Go Deacs.